422. I am your host and founder, Bradley J. Burt. I want to share with you, through this registered trademark, a journalistic approach to three things. One, whistleblowing. Two, communicating with human resources indirectly through a digital platform. And three, your workplace and college campus civil rights. What you need to know, who you need to talk to, who are your points of contact, but most of all, what I'm seeking right now is a team of lawyers who wants to come to the rescue of veterans through my referral service at Outpost 422. And what I hope to do is work with corporations who hire veterans to create a trust fund to legally help and protect veterans who are preyed upon in the workplace, like I have been here in the city of Madison. So with my issues with Live Nation, I want to share this with you. There is a federal act out there that says you can discuss on social media three things. And if you go to my Bradley Burt landing page on Facebook, you'll see it. One of them is unlawful treatment or awful treatment. The other is bad faith, and the other is union organizing. And with these three things, you have a federal act that protects you. That all the stuff that I've been putting on here is to exercise my civil rights, my freedoms, but to pass along to you the information on multiple accounts and distribute information across 5 different social media Facebook pages. Each of these pages represents a form of hostility that I've had to experience, a form of disparate treatment, and what I'm trying to approach is a term called digital disparate treatment. That when your employer uses AI to flag you as a bad employee, to stereotype you as a crazy or hostile war veteran like Frank Productions LLC did to me, or need future evidence and want to store it on a social media page, I'm going to show you how to do that. On my website at outpost422.com, I'm going to start publishing for you information regarding your legal rights here in the state of Wisconsin. And starting this semester in March, I will be taking an administrative law class to fully dissect and go through every single one of the Department of Workforce Development's laws, administrative codes, joining laws, and the like. Outpost 422 is entering into the Dane County workforce as a free service, an opportunity to connect you with legal resources. So I'm going to share a couple things with you, and then I'm going to close this out for this report. First, I just got an email from the House Committee on Veterans Affairs. They have received my response to Boardman and Clark regarding the events that happened at Tammy Baldwin's event. I have been trying to reach and contact Congressman Derek Van Orden because I am a member of the Disabled American Veterans for Life. Now, I prefer to use the American Legion because the American Legion has a long-standing reputation with a lot more ammo than the other organizations like VFW and DAV, but I am a member of all three. So if you're a fellow member of these organizations and you want me to come work with your post to show you how to research and find things legally to protect your members. Now, I'm not going to give you legal advice, but I can legally research and show you where to find these materials on the Wisconsin State Bar websites and the information that I shall receive starting in January when I take the computer applications legal class as a potential paralegal. Now, I'm not going to be a paralegal per se. That is going to be my secondary occupation. My primary occupation here at Outpost 422 is private investigator. And as I pursue my private investigator license and hope to become a junior counsel attorney someday and pass the state bar with the minimum amount of 70, I believe is the score, I do not wish to represent clients. I wish to start a political action committee. Outpost 422 shall develop the Jaded Patriot Party of the United States of America to address the ongoing issues, to stand up to chilling of political speech that was shared during the Citizens United versus Federal Elections Commission issue that I learned in the legal aspects of business organizations class, how a corporation works. I understand corporate citizenship probably to the extent that Albert Einstein understands the theory of relativity. I know what these lawyers are doing. They're creating arguments on multi-jurisdictional levels at once. Well, I've already done it too. But they're using AI through what is called e-discovery. So to challenge their claims and to advocate through film, you can create a documentary through social media live stream. That's how this works. It's called journalism e-discovery. It's my invention. So with evidence intake, disseminating the product between legal and non-legal, and then drafting secondary sources as your secondary source outlet, what I hope to provide you then is a portal at Outpost 422 to quickly answer the questions you need, like I've needed in times of disparate treatment, beratement, ostracization, all those things. The things that veterans have to deal with here in the city of Madison, because the progressive queer ideology has a centrality of ghosting and gaslighting and beating up on people who have military service because they're fascist, right? This Antifa movement in America is anti-veteran. And when we work for corporations that tote an anti-veteran agenda, eventually a veteran's got to stand up and say something. That's what I'm going to do for you here. Now, the last announcement I'm going to share with you is the content, the subject matter. What I'm going to start arguing as a lobbyist is the events that took place at Tammy Baldwin's event. I hold Tammy Baldwin directly accountable for not creating a security detail. I hold Tammy Baldwin directly accountable for not creating and drafting a memorandum that says if a veteran shows up to my event and that veteran perceives someone as hostile, and you ask that veteran to be excused, by all means, let them be excused. But second off, you contact my chief of staff, which is the Wisconsin Homeland Security Adjutant, the general for the Wisconsin Air National Guard, to fully investigate any person who is noted for threatening violence at my events. You see, the claims made by Boardman and Clark are pretty bold. Quite honestly, they're outlandish. They have no weight. The company has no merit. The individual that they're basing their claims on is a guy who's a habitual lawbreaker and preys on women in the workplace. We all knew it. I reported it. Now the House Committee on Veterans Affairs is going to look into it. Because, you know, it's so easy to profile a veteran as a crazy war veteran, stigmatize PTSD, profile them like they're going to shoot up the place, when the actual individual that threatened to kill him, named Alan Robinson, showed up to Tammy's event and notified his past roommate, Eric Middlestad, that if he ever saw me, he would kill me. That's what I was told the night of the event. So I went to Jaden Bauer and I said, Jaden, we're going to have a problem here if I'm seen by this individual. I need you to reassign me upstairs on the 3rd floor so I don't cause a problem at Tammy's event. Because we all know that instincts in collision, that if somebody wants to kill another person, that individual then is a party to the events that take place. So rather than stand up to Alan Robinson at Tammy Baldwin's event at the Orpheum, I asked to be excused. I asked to either go home and sneak out the Johnson Street doors or be stationed somewhere where he would never see me. And my dear friend Eric Middlestad, again, former roommate of Alan Robinson, saw to it that violence did not happen. But it wasn't just then. It happened at High Noon Saloon, and it was not an isolated incident. And so it is my right as a registered trademark owner to create crisis communication, which I have. And I've relayed these concerns to the House Committee on Veterans Affairs. I've noted that Tammy Baldwin has taken a passive approach. She has not taken an active approach in any of this. And that I hold the progressive queer Democrats in the state of Wisconsin, from governor on down, accountable for flying 3 flags on the state capital flagpole that oppresses military culture. This is not warranted by a governor. This is a United States Navy Department of War declaration from General George Washington, the founder of the United States. And not only is it a disrespect to fellow veterans like me, it's disrespectful to the fellow veterans I respect who represent the brotherhood of Freemasonry. Now, I can't join the Freemasons. I have an issue that prevents me. But believe me, I'm on the scene watching your back through this sheepdog AI, making sure that that society remains intact. So with that said, as I close out on this, all should know I never threatened violence, nor would I. And that those allegations made against me again are false. And I will publicly begin to speak about this. However, I need to wait until I hear from my fellow constituents of the Republican Party and the independent parties on how we shall address Democrat queer-mongering in the city of Madison of those who served in the military, especially by Live Nation and Brink Productions in the workplace. You know, I had to go a whole entire year being banned from that. You know what kind of collateral damage that has done to my name and my reputation? Well, it doesn't matter. I'm a whistleblower. And I don't need fans. I tell the truth. I tell the news. I'm a journalism major at first, law student second, and as a post-baccalaureate law student, I know how to tell the truth. So now, as we move forward, I have to properly vet everything so I'm not giving legal advice. And if I say to you that could be construed as legal advice, then you need to back off. Instead, I've had people, when I was in a position of legislative affairs vice president, insist that I didn't know what I was talking about after taking law classes and understanding that when you step out across the line of soliciting legal advice from a person of the law, it's not you who's going to go to jail, it's them. So respect boundaries, understand that whistleblowers like me exist, and if you're a veteran who's under attack, reach out to our customer service newsroom at Bob Cobb on Facebook. That's all I got. Thanks.